Welcome, foolish mortals, to Writing Beauties. I am your host, DF, your ghost host. And this is our Halloween-themed episode of Writing Advice for you terrifying authors out there. All right. Enough playing around. So, this month, I gave you patrons a poll on a Halloween-themed topic on writing. And the winning vote was creating monsters and magical creatures, which I personally love to do as I love writing fantasy and anything that is, well, a deviation from reality. If you're into writing horror, science fiction, or fantasy, any genre with a supernatural or magical element, you might get stuck on creating a magical or supernatural being of some sort, worrying about things like, is this monster scary enough? Is this creature imaginative enough? Is this alien original enough? I can't tell you what kind of creatures to make, but I can share with you 3 ways to find the inspiration for your creatures. Number 1. Research folklore. If you don't know what kind of creatures to write about, borrow one from an urban legend or fairy tale, or a newspaper clipping of a claimed alien abduction, stories people share of haunted places, anything. Monsters of old have been used and reimagined in stories even before they were written down. A lot of the popular horror movies and books that you see today were inspired by classic folklore. Dracula was based on the vampire folklore of Eastern Europe. The creature from the Black Lagoon from a Latin American urban legend. Even epic fantasies, like Lord of the Rings, was inspired by Welsh folklore. You can even combine genres. The book Dragon Pearl by Johan Lee combines science fiction in space with Korean folklore. Don't think of it as copying somebody, as there's no copyright on folklore. And the best part about fantasy, you can choose whether to include traditional traits of a mythical being or make up your own. Like the vampires in Twilight, they still suck blood, but instead of burning in the sun, their skin sparkles in the sun. Yeah, not the best example, but you get the picture. So go on the internet or to your local library, research folklore of different cultures. Maybe you'll find ones that haven't been used as often before. Or if your family comes from a specific culture or subculture, use those old legends and myths and share your mythic heritage with the world. Number 2. Look at what you interact with every day. If you're writing horror, think about what scares you the most. Wolves, cats, an oddly shaped tree, even something ridiculous like a doll or a teacup. These can be turned into monsters, even the most innocent of things. That's how franchises like Child's Play are so successful. Or you can take a psychological fear, like if you suddenly disappeared, you would become the Invisible Man. Or the fear of the evil within yourself, like in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. People have taken the fear of the unknown and the unfamiliar and created monsters to represent that fear. In fantasy and science fiction, to make a creature or alien, you can look at different animals in real life. Maybe take 2 animals and combine them into one, like in Avatar: The Last Airbender. All creatures in that show are hybrids of real animals. Or you can make a hybrid of a human with another creature. Greek mythology is chock full of half-human, half-beasts. Minotaurs, centaurs, satyrs, sirens. You can borrow one of these or make one that's never been done before. Like a duck-cat dog. Ugh. Okay, maybe not that one. Or you can simply take an animal or an inanimate object and make it talk or give it magical abilities. You can get ideas from anywhere, just in your everyday life. Number 3. Pay attention to your dreams and nightmares. I, for one, get very vivid and peculiar dreams and nightmares a lot, so I found this a particularly useful tool for inspiration. The mind can come up with some pretty freaky stuff that you don't usually think of while you're awake. Keep a dream journal by your bed, and whenever you wake up, jot down what you remember from your dreams. It can just be a brief image or a whole dream plotline, if you remember it. Maybe a creature that scared you and you want to remember what it looks like and bring it to life in a story. Note that this tool only works if you actually remember your dreams, if you get any at all. But a trip into your subconscious can take you to the most bizarre places, and you never know what sort of creatures, or even just story ideas, might pop up. Overall, don't worry too much about originality when it comes to creating myths and monsters, as the same ones have been used over and over again over the millennia. It's not about copying someone else, it's about taking the folklore of a mythical being and putting your own spin on it. Or taking from the mundane and playing on real fears and presenting them in your own creative way. Recalling details from your dreams are good too, but in the end, fantasy is just a fantastical representation of reality. So, look at reality and bend it to your will. Metaphorically, of course. So, patrons, be sure to look out for the next Writing Beauties poll for next month's episode. The link will be in your email or in the Skype group, where you can vote on the next topic. If you want to hear more on myths and monsters, leave a comment on the patron page or contact me through the Skype group. Until next time, keep writing beautiful.
And beastly.